What's up everybody, Eagle Firefly Gaming here, welcome back to this next video. Not seen you all for a little bit, hope you're all doing well. Been quite busy doing some various bits and bobs. Cut a long story short, basically where I have been building an orca from scratch. And that has been an emotional experience, which I'm going to go through a few things with you in that shortly. It has been an absolute royal pain in the backside to do. I'm not going to lie. But here we are. Wanted to show this off. So this is the new Tengu skin that I've got. This basically, I'm going to pop you a quick sneak preview of the fit. Ooh, looks a little bit different, doesn't it? Okay, so this skin is called the Zento Isidiko Combine skin. And it's a lovely skin. I wanted to get it because we have the winter event coming just round the corner. Actually, some updates are happening tomorrow, and the winter event is due to start on the 9th, I think, in the latest Pulse video. I'll drop the link to that video in the description below, so you can go and have a look at that if you've not seen it yet. So this is a great skin, really like it. I did pick it up off the New Eden store, so I did buy it with Plex. I didn't buy it with ISK, but I still really like it. Okay, so this is a little bit of an update, things that are coming up soon. So over the course of the next few weeks, as we've got the winter event coming, we will be going and getting lost. So this is the home of where I am in the wormhole system. Should be tapping E-scan. So we're going to go through some various bits and bobs. So this build is a heavy missile build, but it's actually a bit of a hybrid build. So I'm not going to spoil it too much, but we are PvP fit. We are going to be doing some hacking. We're going to be using this module here called the Frostline Clavicula. I don't have the skills for the posh one, which gives you a bit more virus coherence. But to be fair, this one, it has some good punch. The virus strength is only 4 points below, but the coherence is really high. Now, the thing is with this, they are expensive. So just a word of caution, if you don't really have the to lose it, don't take my advice. Only fly what you can afford, of course. We're going to tailor this to new players as well. So if you're a new player, welcome to the game. Check the link out in the description below, and you can basically get some free skill points and stuff like that. And I get some shiny new bits and bobs that I can show off to you. So that's that. We are I think it's 2 or 1 away from getting the Enforcer. Now, we've used the Pacifier. So we will use the Enforcer when we get that as well. We'll use that for a bit of a roam. I'm just going to drop some probes here. So the first thing that we'll do, we'll just go through a bit of a probe refresh, a scanning refresh, the way I do things. So we're going to cloak up and hide this beauty so we don't sort of die in a thunderous explosive fireball, if that's even possible. Okay, so for the new players that are here, or you after some tips, I'm going to chapter this in the video, so if you look in the bar below, you can skip to the various bits of sections that you want to do. So if this bit isn't for you, you can skip on, or you can just join us for the ride. So, scanning. So we launched the probes. We're using Tech 1 probes. It's a bit of a trick that will come along. We're not using the Sisters probes, because obviously we don't want people to know that we're flying shiny things here. So if we're using Sisters probes, there's a chance that whoever we're going to be hunting is going to hide, and we don't want that. On the right, my overview is a little bit different to what other people use. Some people call it cloggy, some people call it crowded, but it's muscle memory, so it's whatever works for you. I have a lot of hotkeys and stuff. So D-scan when you're in a wormhole, set that up to a hotkey. I have it to V, maximum range, and we're always going to be tapping that V key and making sure that anything doesn't come up on D-scan. If you look at my overview, if you look at the Localist primary video, this is my CEO's overview. So it's a mixed for low sec wormhole, but it does work for wormholes. So I've not changed anything. So the D-scan, if you see anything on D-scan on the ship tab, you know that either to cloak up or run or take the fight or try and scan them down. We do have combat probes just here. And I forgot, I did get my nanite repair paste. We've got combat probes, so we can drop them in there, and away we go. So we've got some signatures in here, so we're going to move on now to probe scanning. There is a more in-depth way of using D-scan where you can use angles and range and things like that, but that's not something that we're going to cover here, because on the event it's most likely that we're going to get hacking sites, so we want to know how to use the probe launchers most effectively. Okay, so we have 6 cosmic signatures. Most of them are probably going to be wormholes, but we're going to press this button here. This is the way I set things. When you first open this page up, basically you're going to get it all combined, I presume, but you can undock the view, and I drag things down here so I can see things pop up. So I use a system called Pathfinder, so I'll select Control A, copy it over into Pathfinder so my coordinates can see what's going on. In this, we are flying solo, so I don't have any backup, so everything is going to be completely solo. Okay, so as you can see, I'm tapping in and out, and you can see the probes going crazy. So 2 hotkeys, Q and W, I think I used. Yeah, Q and W. W to increase the range, Q to lower the range. Okay, and then we're going to spin round. Now, what I do, which may be a little bit different to what other things are. There's different techniques. So some of the techniques are you can go 4 AU to each thing, and generally, as a rule, most cosmic signatures are within 4 AU of a celestial body. You'll find it very rare that they're not. Okay, now our system is quite nice and close here, so we're quite good. So what I do is drop the probe launcher in the middle of everything. Go to about 8 AU, which covers most of the bubbles, and then I also have this to a hotkey, which is B, and then we'll scan. Then you get the little bar moving, and we'll go, and then we'll get a result. Okay, so generally, as a rule, when you scan like that, your strongest signature in a wormhole is most likely, not definitely, most likely going to be a wormhole. So if you look at basically it's the easiest thing to scan down. So if we look at the 3 here, CW8, QDJ, H and X, my bet is that they are going to be in a wormhole, are going to be another wormhole connection. Okay, we are going to go diving in and getting lost, but we're not going to do that right now. So we're going to pick the one that's got the smallest signature. Okay, so the chances are that this might be a level 3 or level 2 data site or something like that, or a C4 connection. Okay, so you see these here, you can go top view, side view. I don't really like to do that. Some people do it, some people don't. I like to click and drag. So left click to spin around like your ship spinning. If your ship's spinning, this is great for your wrist action there. And obviously, you know, well, there you go. If you're good at ship spinning, you're good at spinning your probes. If you really want to spin your probes. For that. Never mind. Anyway, right click to move around. And then we'll do that. So best thing to do is double click. Mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Should have put a warning on this about flashing lights. Never mind. Okay, so the side of the probe. Can move the probes up and down. Up and down and round. Top of the probe. Box. We'll move it around like that. Okay. So best thing we're going to do, we're going to go down 1 step per scan. So we're going to get it in the middle somewhere. Roughly. Like that. Go down a step and scan. You basically want your probes to be, you can actually double click it as well to center it. You can actually get the outside of the probes. What I do is get the outside of the probes to make sure you're covering the whole bubble. Oh, we didn't get anything there. That's not good. It's not a very good example, is it? But that you get the idea. Up, down, up, down, up, down. There we go. So we've got a hit on VAE. Now, for me, scanning is fun, but it is pretty tedious at times when you've got 100 things to scan. What some people do is they'll get a scanning ship and they'll pre-scan the whole system, or they'll have an alt pre-scan the whole system. But this is good practice because if you're doing it this way and finding a quick way to do things, basically what you'll do is you'll pick up the telltale signs of what you want to scan, what you need to scan, what you don't want to scan, what's a wormhole, what's not a wormhole. If you're looking for a site and you're not really interested in a wormhole, by doing that full hit, then you know roughly what you're looking for. Well, that's a wormhole, so never mind. But it'll be a C4 connection. So let's go and go into it. And probably die on our first run. So that's the basic ideas. You can also, that's the way I do it. I do have enough scan strength to not bother about probe accuracy and things like that. If you press Alt, obviously you can change the range of your scan probe launchers. If you're doing combat probing, you can spread them out and get hits that way. But we're just using the pinpoint formation at this point. Okay, so we'll go to that wormhole, we'll dive in, and then I'll come back to you in a minute. In the next section, I'll just go through the various little bits of updates that we're doing. See you in a mo. Okay, so welcome to the C4. This is where we've ended up by jumping through that. And we've bookmarked our exit, so basically that will take us back to our home system. Now, we'll be okay as long as that doesn't close up on us on the way back. So, one tip that you can basically use when you're roaming wormholes is there's a key to an active system or not. Okay, so we use Pathfinder, which gives you the killboard links and so on. And we can see if anybody's died in here recently or any movement or anything that's logged or tracked. Well, Pathfinder will tell us. So there's a couple of things that we can take from this. So we know the system number. We also know what effects. So this is actually quite a good system because we get missile velocity and missile explosion velocity bonuses, and there's a penalty to stasis webifier strength. So if we get jumped, basically we're going to be able to pull away a little bit better. So it's a black hole system. So you see the black hole down there. You can't fly to it. I've never actually tried to fly to it, but yeah, there you go. They're really beautiful. And then we got the sun on in the distance there, so it's a kind of star. It's just a normal star, I think. Okay, so we're going to scan this system down. So the second tip as well. Sorry, I forgot the second tip. If you look at all these sites here, to bear in mind we're in a class 4, so the payouts of the bounty, that's not bounty, the loot that's dropped from the sleeper sites is a lot higher in a C4 because it's stronger and it's harder to do. So basically, if you see lots of these sites, so we've got 2 ore sites, and then we've got all these combat sites. Well, we know that the ore sites haven't been run, and we know that the combat sites haven't been run, and there's quite a lot of signatures, so we know that there's not much action going on in this system. But then again, it could be a perfect setup to be hunted. The second thing is that if you go to this, basically go to one of the PI offices, so one of the customs offices. So we're going to warp to that at 100. So instantly it's Chinese, or it's got Chinese symbols, but we don't know if it's Chinese or not, but it has Chinese symbols. Okay, so we're going to warp to there. We know it says needle box, so here's what we're going to do. So while that's firing up, I'm just going to drag another tab over. So we're just going to open up Z-Kill. I'm not going to share this. Well, you might know where I am now. Yeah, you know where I am now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But so we're going to go into this. So we're going to have a quick read. So it's very important that you do this kind of recon when you come into a new wormhole. Okay. Now you can jump in, you can scan the system down, and get in, get out, and go for it. But it's always good when you're doing something shiny to figure out what you're dealing with. So we go into needle box. Okay, so it's got 2 members. So we know that the corporation who has the PI offices hasn't got 500 members, and they're probably all flying around here. It's got 2 members. The chances are it's probably just, an alt corp. So it could be dead system. Okay. But we're going to go with that and assume that we're relatively safe. So we're just going to do a quick D-scan. There's nothing on scan. We're going to see if there's any Athenors or anything like that. There's nothing in here. There's a customs office. Okay, so we've got no big structures in here. So actually, this would be a good system to try and conquer if it's doable. which I'm going to take a quick note and possibly do that. Okay, but that's not why we're here. So we're going to have a look here, and we're just going to decloak, drop some probes, wait for the timer, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to cloak up. Okay, so another trick that somebody showed me. So you see how my probe launcher reloaded there. So what I've done, let's have a quick look. So I've got 8 probes launched and 8 probes in the launcher. So what I've done to save time is that basically have 16 core probe launchers and 8 combat probes, and that saves having to do a reload. Okay, so I'm going to scan this system down now. I'm going to do it in hyperspeed, so obviously you don't have to sit through me scanning down the whole system. So I'll do that now, and then we'll see what we find. Okay, so we pretty much have the system scanned down now, so you can see there. I did try and speed it up and try and do a little bit some bobs in between to try and get it done and dusted, but it sometimes can take time. We're in a C4, so this is actually the first C4 that I've done this kind of stuff in. I normally run in C3s, so there is a structure down there. Didn't spot that. Okay, so this is the unsecured frontier itinerary hub, I think. Anyway, we're here. So what we notice is I've done some research on this from Eve University. Okay, so over on the left we've got one set of frigates and one battleship. Now, we're PvP tanked, but we're not necessarily PvE tanked, so our resistances do suck at this point. So what I've done is I've come into the system, into the site, sorry, and then I've sort of creeped my way to the cans. Now the cans are quite close, so if I can actually tank that battleship enough to sort of run these cans, then we might be all right. So the range that we have on this scanner is 6,000 meters. So I'm going to orbit at 5,000 slowly. Now we're going to decloak, obviously. Now if the basically if the shit hits the fan, we're out of here. That's as simple as it goes. Now I have sort of got myself some exits lined up, so hopefully this doesn't go too bad. Okay, so let's decloak. Hopefully this is not going to be that bad. Okay, so we can get the first one done. We're going to keep an eye on that incoming damage. That was not a very good start, was it? Nope. Okay, so we'll fail that one then, shall we? Let's go again. Now, I do expect these to be harder than normal. So we're going to keep an eye on the incoming damage, which doesn't look too bad at this point. This is where my scanning skills are going to suck massively. Oh. Let's get that extra large going. Don't want to over rep. I do expect that we're going to get some damage coming in from these, so let's just get rid of that. If anything points here, we're absolutely screwed. So I did do a little bit of research. No, that's not happening. Okay, that's not a great start, was it? Next can. So, oh no, we still get another go on this. So let's just get rid of some of these. No, 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 it's going to close. Oh, never mind. Didn't mean to do that. Don't over rep. We're not pointed. We're just webbed. Just going to hit that D-scan just to be sure. Whoa. That hurt, didn't it? Nah, this isn't going to work. Don't want another one of them. One thing I have noticed, we've got one of those webs down, that's good. We don't have much... There we go. Yeah, we don't have much virus strength, which is making me a bit nervous. It's like complete silence in the cockpit here, because I don't want to lose this Tengu just on a messing around. Okay, I'm not sure this is going to work, you know. We're actually tanking okay. We've got no cap booster charges. Screwed up there, didn't I? This is one of those moments where you start getting massive dislikes on your video because you look like you've got no idea what you're doing. And I'll let you into a little secret. I don't. Okay, so we're getting low on cap now. No, no, no. What now? You know, there's bad luck and there's like really bad luck. Now these don't explode. Why don't they explode? Do you have like unlimited attempts or something? It's actually not tanking that bad now. Get another one of them out of the way. So we're not going to trigger another wave, that's for sure. We've got plenty of cans to go at. So F3, 2 cycles, 1, 2. Nope. What? Is that one dead now? There you go. Nope. Getting low on cap now. I would just like to be successful in one of these, just to see what's in it. Oh, look at that! How about that for timing? System hack successful. What's in it? Let's see. Really excited right now. Let's get rid of that. Actually, I could probably stay at this, you know. Just as long as nothing sneaks up of me. If we go into PvP mode here, we've had it. Oh, all that work! Oh, fail. Lots of data cores. Right, okay. I'm going to mic silent on this because I don't want to lose my ship. So, back in a mo.
Until something better came along. Until something better came along.
Okay, well, that was not my idea of fun, but it was fun in a way. Not much reward, loads of data cores, probably about 2 million for about an hour's work, nearly. Not brilliant, but it was an experience. And as you can see, I did take a chip of armor, but that's because I was caught napping. But it's interesting because there's a couple of things that I could probably work on it with that. One thing's for certain, unless I need data cores, I won't be running one of them again. That is for certain. But we know we can tank C4 data sites. So if there was an escalation where a Telecan can dropped, then we'd have been in big trouble there. But it looks like these cores actually are 4 subsystems. So I did wonder when I received some blueprints on where I would get these from. Obviously they're available on the market, but I wondered where you get them from naturally, and that's the place. So we're just going to go and dock up and have a look, because I need to go and repair anyway. But we'll have a look together at that and see, because when you do salvage sleeper items, you get the yellow or orange type blueprints, which I've never done. I've done industry before, but I've never done anything with them. So I'm just going to see, because it'd be interesting if they're not worth that a lot, much on a base value, but I do wonder how much they are back in Jita. But I'll have a look at that in the background. So yeah, that's the video for now. In the next video, I'll go through the Orca build. Hopefully, it will be a much more built unit by then. But I'll just quickly have a look at this. So use blueprint. So we need core subsystems and quantum physics, and I bet it didn't drop the quantum physics. No, but it did drop these. But they're not worth a lot anyway. So you could probably pick them up from GT for not a lot of ISK really. Alright, so we'll just have a quick look at this Orca build. Whoa, took a bit of damage there on the new shiny skin. That poor skin. So I'll tell you why initially why it's been a pain. So it does have a lot of components. Okay, so if you go into the Orca blueprint, which is not that one, it's this one. And you'll be able to see the progress of where I'm at. Now, all of this I have built from scratch, every single piece. So I haven't bought any pieces. I've bought some of the raw materials, but I haven't bought the actual pieces. Okay, because they're quite large. So I've built all these in the wormhole, all right, which they do come to quite a lot. Now, the bit that has been a pain, this is just standard materials, but if you just look at this, so I think this is where CCP are changing things. Okay, let's say industry, reprocessed required. No, so we want that one, don't we? That there. So, the gas is fine. Basically what I did, some of it I extracted the gas myself and then reacted it into these materials. In fact, well, some of it I mined it, and then some of it I actually bought the raw material because it's not available in our wormhole. So the hardest bit to do is obviously the PI section, which I did buy the PI bits, and this little gem here, 100 reinforced carbon fibre. Now that looks like, oh okay, fine, whatever, but it costs so much to make. Now for that is not too bad per section of these. Okay, so each one of these that you build needs 100 reinforced carbon fibre. Okay, so it averages about 9 to 10 million ISK per unit of these. So some you actually lose, but they're so hard to transport that you don't really buy them and transport them unless you've got big ships. Okay, now here's the problem. So this is the expensive bit. Okay, so it's these bits here. So the core temperature regulators and the life support backup units, they have been such a pain to build, okay? Because this pressurized oxidizers and reinforced carbon fiber takes so long to build, okay? So you could have, I mean, maybe it's me, but I only have 5 slots, okay? And I've only done this solo, so I haven't basically used loads of alts to build this. I've just used the one character. In hindsight, I could have used 3 characters and speeded the process up, but the way those characters are trained, that's not what I've done. I've not done it that way. So I've just built it on the one character. So you're probably looking at 60 days worth of building, and it's intense attention that you need to keep going with the support line. So you're constantly going into the, well, I'm doing this in a wormhole, so going into the wormhole, reacting everything, and then going on to the next bit and reacting the next bit to try and keep the chain going and keeping all the production line fed, because you can't set 5 queues up of 100 units per each because it just takes too long and you don't have the resource. If you haven't got the resources, you haven't got the resources. So these are the bits where it feels a little bit broken for these, and that's where it's driving the prices of these orcas up, is because of these core temperature units and the life support backup units. Now if you had 3 or 4 characters doing this constantly as a chain, it probably wouldn't take so long, but to keep the supply fed, that's where the time is consumed. So that's it. That we're pretty much there. We're nearly there. Probably the next 2-3 days we'll be there, and it'll be done. So yeah, so we've covered off a little bit of scanning, we've covered off a little bit of hacking, we've shown off the new skin, we've told you where we're going, and yeah, and all that good stuff. The idea with the hacking is we wasn't going to be touching the sleeper sites too much, but because obviously I was in that C4, I wanted to give that a try. But what we're going to be looking at, we're going to speed run in the Sancha sites, the Guristas sites, the unsecured, not the unsecured sites. So that's where the relic sites are. That's where the ISK seems to be at the minute. But it's good practice as well, because when the event comes, we'll be taking this into low sec. We'll be taking it through high sec to go and do all the new cool stuff with the Whitestone filaments. We do use the Vindicator when we do run the site, so all that good stuff will be coming up, and also we will have some of the usual winter giveaways to get done with. All right, so thank you for watching. I'm sorry I've not been around for a while. I've had some real life stuff going on, so obviously that always takes priority, but I never forget about you. Always reply to your comments. Come and join me on the Discord, and it would be great to talk to all of you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.